Writers and actors in Hollywood have been on strike for months, and we've seen a lot of projects canceled or indefinitely delayed due to it. But now it seems that the writer's strike is over, which means actors will most likely be following in their footsteps. But massive damage has already been done to Hollywood. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting via Patreon or YouTube memberships. So I wanted to start off with this Guardian article. Hollywood writer strike WGA reaches tentative deal to end 146-day strike. Now, obviously, with the strike that has gone on for so long, it has done some major damage to Hollywood. We have seen actors speak out against this, writers, producers. We've seen tons of people in the industry say there are going to be long-term effects because, of course, for the past few months, a lot of projects have been delayed, meaning next year is probably going to be pretty scarce when it comes to content. Of course, there are still projects that were being, filmed, or they already were filmed in other places like the UK, and now they're being edited, and they will still come out on schedule or only a little bit delayed. But we have also seen several projects kind of lose out on a lot of marketing because of the strikes, most notably with actors, because when the strikes were going on, there were actors who would typically, go into interviews and talk about their project who didn't. And I know that one of the most hilarious situations recently that I've had to talk about is Brie Larson. Marvel was apparently freaking out behind the scenes because, oh no, Brie Larson couldn't market this movie, and we all were laughing because, let's be honest, when Brie Larson speaks, she does damage to the films and the projects that she's part of. But it does appear that the WGA, is ending. It is ending at least the writer's strike. Now, obviously, the actor's strike is still going on, but it's most likely that they're going to follow within the next couple of days to weeks. It says Hollywood writers are poised to end their nearly 5-month strike after reaching an agreement with studios, the Writers Union, and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers said Sunday night, though the full details of the agreement still have to be formally approved. Yes, it's not in writing yet, but we're hearing that in the next few days, the contracts are going to be finalized. They're going to be signing, but it's extremely likely that it is ending. I mean, there are people in Hollywood saying that's it. There's no way that it's going to continue after this. The deal came after 5 marathon days of renewed talks by negotiators for the WGA and an alliance of studios, streaming services, and production companies, and must be approved by the Guild's board and members before the strike officially ends. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like it is going to be ending very, very soon. The terms of the deal were not immediately announced, but the WGA called the deal exceptional, with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of the membership in an email to members. Now, we don't know for certain what they're going to agree on, but just 3 days ago, we were hearing that they were asking for 0. I believe it was 18% of the studio's revenue. That is what they were asking for. And apparently, before, from what we understand, they were getting like 0.03% or something like that. So they were definitely asking for an increase, but we don't actually know what that's going to translate to. These are just some of the percentages that we have heard. It says 4 top industry executives, Iger, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos, and NBC Universal Studio Group Chairman Donna Langley, joined negotiations this week, helping to break the months-long impasse. So yeah, they definitely brought out the big guns when they were expecting it to end, thinking, it's probably going to look better for us if we all, band together and come to an agreement all together at the same exact time. And that has happened now, from what we know. And of course, this is going to have serious implications for the industry in totality. I mean, just because the strike is done does not mean things are going to go back to normal as regularly scheduled, because they still have to kind of get back into the flow of things. They are going to have to, rethink plans, say, okay, it's been months since we've, written, months since we've filmed. What do we want to do differently? Actually looking at the projects for what they are, and deciding if things might even get scrapped now. But we have heard that because of these strikes, several things have gotten either indefinitely delayed or straight up canceled. And we've also heard, CFOs saying things like the company saved over $100 million due to ongoing actors and writers strikes. So, the CFOs and the CEOs weren't really hurting because of this. They were trying to act very tough and like this was actually good for them. And now that that's done, I think that they're probably going to be feeling the burn. But yeah, I mean, we have heard several projects, again, have been indefinitely delayed or, outright canceled because of this. As listed here, Prime Video had scrapped the sci-fi series The Peripheral after one season due to the strikes, which in my opinion is such a loss. It was actually such a good first season. I would love to see more of this, but of course they're just not doing it. It makes me so sad. Maybe they'll reconsider. I don't think so though. Disney had laid off 150 crew members from the upcoming Tron Ares movie amid ongoing strikes, which was unfortunate. Of course, this Tron movie has been in the works for a few years now. They had a couple different, actors that dropped out of the project, directors that changed, and it seems like it's in a bit of development hell. And then, of course, the strikes did not help that. We also have no real news on a She-Hulk season 2. Disney had allegedly said behind the scenes to some of the people working on the project that, oh, we'll decide if we're going to do a second season after the strikes are over. I personally think that that was an excuse. I don't think they're actually going to do a She-Hulk season 2. We don't really know at this point, though. And then, like I mentioned, when it comes to actors, it's a whole different story. They have not made a deal yet. They most likely will. But I mean, even the Marvel's director, Nia DaCosta, had voiced how concerned she was that the strikes could prevent Brie Larson from promoting the film. In my opinion, it's probably a good thing that Brie Larson cannot promote the film because she is such a diva. She is so full of herself. And I remember all of the interviews she had done for Avengers and, of course, Captain Marvel, and people were absolutely destroying her over those. But yes, I mean, there's still a lot that we do not know about how much they actually are getting out of this deal, if things are going to go back to normal right away, if they're still going to be striking for a while, because even though you have writers, you do still need actors. The actors could be, could be an issue as well. They may not make a deal anytime soon, but it sounds like right now, at least, the Writers Guild and Hollywood studios have reached a deal to end the strike, meaning things might start to go back to normal soon, but only time will tell. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.